From Tampa Bay's #1 news station, this is the Fox 13 4 o'clock news.
Well, you guys know it. We use them for news gathering purposes. You see them all over the place now. Drones are everywhere. People are getting these for birthday, Christmas gifts. Kids are learning to fly them in school. People are racing them for fun or just taking incredible images with them. But there are some things that you need to know if you want to fly one, or maybe if you want to avoid one too. Attorney Jim Giardina is here with us. Jim's with the Consumer Rights Law Group, always has good info for us. And so, Jim, I guess the first question is, legally, do people need to have a license to fly a drone?
Well, you know, that's a great question, Chris. Drone licensing, it's governed by the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration.
Okay.
And what they do is they classify types of drone flights, not the drone itself, well, they do that too, but when it comes to licensing, they have two categories: commercial and personal recreation. Now, when it comes to commercial, you always need a license. That doesn't matter if you're taking pictures and selling the pictures with the drone, if you're a realtor and you're using the drone to take a look at the property, or if maybe you're a security guard and you're doing your patrols with the drone. If you're using it for a business purpose, you must have a license.
Okay, but if it's for a recreational purpose, let's say you're just racing a drone or just toying around with it in your yard, you don't need a license for that.
Well, not necessarily. So they say the sky's the limit, right? Except when you're flying recreationally, 400 feet is the limit. You've got to obey the rule, the FAA rules. They've got this rule called 107. And FAA Rule 107, it says some basic safety things that you've got to follow when you're flying your drone. You know, you've got to keep it within the line of sight. You've got to see it. If you're flying it remotely through a computer, that's a no-no. You're going to need a license for that. If you're going to fly it higher than 400 feet, or if you're going to fly it within 500 miles of an airport, you need a special license for that. There's some other safety rules too. Don't fly over groups of people. You need a special license for that. Don't go faster than, get this, 100 miles an hour. If you go faster than 100 miles an hour in your drone, you're going to need a license.
Who's got the speedometer on your drone, though? Like, who's enforcing that?
I don't know how they do that. You know, I do know that a kid last year crashed his drone, was flying a drone, crashed it accidentally into the Empire State Building, and they came and they arrested him. So, you know what? I think if you're in the park, you'll be okay. If you're somewhere big, you're probably going to get in trouble if people see it.
And we have had some kind of scary close calls at airports around the country recently, people violating that airspace. So they're definitely enforcing that around airports. Here's what I want to know. What if you don't want a drone flying over your property? You know, well, yeah, exactly. You don't know what they're taking pictures of. You're lounging by the pool, whatever. You want your privacy. What, can you do anything?
Yeah. Okay, so we've got, in Florida, we've got two statutes that are going to govern that, right? Our first statute, it's Florida Statute 810.14. That's the anti-peeping Tom statute, right? It flies with a drone, without a drone. It's a misdemeanor if you're looking at people's personal lives, and they don't want you looking at it, right? First time somebody does it to you, they're guilty of a misdemeanor. If they do it more often than that, they're looking at third-degree felony. Now, in addition to that, you've got Florida Statute 934.5. Now, that is specific to drones, and what it says is if you can't see it from the street, you're not allowed to look at it with a drone. So if somebody, whether they want to look inside your windows or they just want to see how many, let's say, chairs you have on your patio, if they fly a drone over your fence to look at it, they're breaking the law. Now, in that case, you're entitled to an injunction to get them to stop. If they violate the injunction, now they're in contempt of court, they're going to jail. But you also get your actual damages. If, you know, they publish these pictures or something like that, you get punitive damages. The court will punish that person, make them pay you extra money.
Wow.
And they make them pay for your attorney's fees too. So it's a bad idea.
They're not messing around when it comes to that.
And,
and so again, you're calling police if this keeps happening to you?
Absolutely.
You're just reporting
call your police
it?
or call a lawyer that knows about this stuff.
Wow. All right, so and that's the advice there to the drone operators too. Don't be using it to spy on your neighbors, because that could land you in court or worse. All right, thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Good to see you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.